am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with yet one more video, joined today by a very special returning guest, Naya.
What's up, y'all?
Hi, Naya.
Hey.
Good for you to join me again.
You know, I'm back at it again.
Your presence was missed.
Oh.
Okay? The emptiness is now filled. All right? Let's get in here right now. I want your opinion on this shit. Sara Lena, shout out to you. Fantastic content creator. My honest opinion about hypergamy. Is it natural? Are all women hypergamous? Should men be worried? The longest title in YouTube history, but we're going to review it here today.
Is it longer than Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews?
That's my name of my channel versus the name of the video. You're comparing apples to oranges, but it's okay. We'll get you straight. Anyway, do you know what hypergamy means?
Well, my good friend, Sara Lena?
Yeah.
She gonna explain it to y'all.
Okay. All right.
Check her out.
You ready? You ready to get started?
I want you to press play.
Peace, family. So it's been a while since I've done a requested video, so that's what this is going to be. I have had people requesting this video for like over a year. And so I'm finally just going to go ahead and get it out of the way. This is going to be about hypergamy. I have been asked, what do I think about it? Is it good? Is it bad? Are all women hypergamous? Is it natural? If it is natural, is it something that men should be worried about? You know, so for those of you that don't know what hypergamy is, like I didn't at one point, basically it suggests that there's like this hierarchy, and wherever men fall in this hierarchy is determined by their social status, their financial status, their masculinity, their confidence, their attractiveness, you know, and whether or not women consider a man to be high value, or whether women consider a man to be desirable, or whether or not a man has a lot of options when it comes to women is also determined by his place within this hierarchy. And hypergamy suggests that mostly all women are attracted to the man at the very, very top, the men that are the wealthiest, the men with the most power, the men that are the most attractive, you know. And so there are men, of course, that feel like this is an issue, because everybody can't be the wealthiest, everybody can't be the most powerful, everybody can't be the most attractive. So these are my thoughts on it. Now, when I first looked it up, like I said, I had no idea what it was, like a little over a year ago when I first looked it up. And so when I started to do some research on it, I was like, oh, you know, I didn't realize there was a term for this, this lifestyle. To me, I did think was completely normal. I did think it was completely natural. I think it is natural for a woman to be attracted to certain masculine traits in men. I think that it is natural for a woman to be attracted to a man that has characteristics of a good leader, man that has traits of a provider, of a protector, man that shows good characteristics and attributes of a good father figure, man that look like he could give her some healthy, strong babies. That is embedded in us, you know. So it's kind of like the science of attraction, you know, when men are attracted to certain traits in women, you know, it's the same thing kind of. So I think that that is natural. So that I don't have an issue with that. I don't think that that's bad. No, I think that it becomes an issue when women choose this hypergamous lifestyle for reasons that are not natural. So for example, if you want a man that is a provider, not because you want him to provide the basic necessities, but because you want to be able to go get your hair and your nails and your eyelashes done every week, that's not a natural reason to want a provider. Because
just real quick, I wanted to pause it and see if you were kind of following her definition of it. And when I say her, she described hypergamy different than I would describe hypergamy. I would describe hypergamy as someone just wanting to marry into a higher class or caste, right? So This is, you know, you are middle class and you try to marry a rich guy. in order to, you know, get into that cast. I think she added some other things about masculinity in there that I have not heard that version of the definition before. So I wanted to get your thoughts in kind of in understanding at least the way that she was describing it. Does it make sense so far?
So the way that she's describing it to me seems like it doesn't necessarily it's like a full, more well-rounded definition based on what you said. What you said kind of seemed very simple. A to B, you basically are marrying for more money. The way that she described it is like you are marrying someone who is a provider, a good father, a leader, all those things. And I don't think anything about that as a woman marrying someone that's like that or being attracted to those things. I don't think anything about that is problematic. I feel like most women that are dating, we look for someone who's a good leader. I mean, someone that can lead you as the head of the household. We look for someone who's going to be a good father if you want to have children. Like, those are things that you look at. You look for someone who's able to provide. Not to say that you can't provide on your own, but someone who's an asset to your kingdom, for lack of a better word. Not someone who's going to come on and be a liability. So I don't think there's anything wrong with looking for someone that kind of is on the same level as you, so to speak. And someone that shows characteristics of being able to be a good leader and steward of the household. I think that's important. But as far as just like marrying for more money, like, and just like that's it, like I'm only marrying this person because they have more money and I'm trying to level up, I don't agree with that, because I feel like just because someone has money, like that's not enough, at least in my opinion. Like, I look at people as a more well-rounded approach. Like, even if you have more money, if you don't treat me the way I deserve to be treated, the way that I feel I should be treated, I don't want to be bothered with you. Your money is not enough to kind of overlook your lack of basic decency and respect.
You know, I like that you brought that up, because there's a movement going around and it's on the internet.
What's it called?
You use the word level up. And there's a level up movement that's talked about on the internet, and it's from a certain content creator. And what she does is she teaches women how to level up, but it's in this hypergamous mindset, but with the idea of it's just to get the bag, right? And you are leveling up, you are doing things in order to trick men into making them believe that you love them, and in exchange for the bag.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. That's kind of like an Anna Nicole and that like oil tycoon from, I think, Texas, maybe.
That's exactly what that is.
I don't.
He was a billionaire and she was a model, and there was an exchange there. And I think, like, if both parties are very aware of that exchange, have at it.
Yeah, but I think that, like, I don't even know if he was able to even think at that level, because he was a little bit old, very much older.
I don't think he cared. I think he knew
he just wanted
the
some
exchange.
Attention. He just wanted some attention, maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're 80 and she's 30, 20, whatever, like you can, and you made $1 billion, like, you're not a dumb person.
Yeah, some people
but there's a middle ground there. There's a middle ground there where there's, like, I have a buddy. I'll just tell this quick story real quick.
Okay.
Just real quick, and we'll get back into the video. I have a buddy that confided in me. This particular story, he confided in me, and this is a guy who, you know, is on the shorter side, you know, skinny, has confidence issues, and a hopeless romantic. And he went out to a certain city with a lot of casinos, and had a night filled of drinking and a strip club. And by the time the night ended, $7,000 to $8,000 was removed from his bank account by his own doing. He's not a rich guy. He's not a rich guy. But the particular woman that he met in that club convinced him.
She made him feel like he was something.
Convinced him and made him feel like he was something more than what that particular situation was, and he believed it.
Yikes.
He's a smart guy, super smart. But I think that, you know, when you, especially men, in my opinion, who are hopeless romantics, want love, right? They yearn for a woman's affection. Oftentimes, you see them get played.
Well, but I feel like this about, because I feel like in certain situations, if you present yourself as a chick, and sometimes men present themselves that way, you can't get upset when you're treated like the chick that you presented yourself as. Because you did that. Like, you didn't give me any other reason to show interest in you or to entertain you other than you kind of threw your money around. Like, oh, I could pay for this, I could pay for that. Like, that's great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody say you don't pay for something, most people are not going to turn you down on that. You know what I'm saying? There are some women who will be like, no, because I'm like, it's not that for me, and I don't want you to continue to spend your money because I don't want you to feel used. But there's some chicks who just, if you gonna spend your money, they don't let you. Like,
Which is why I agree with you. Which is why, like, I try to tell so much of the dudes on this channel is that, like, they will use you if dudes might use you as well for the amount of money. Yeah, we'll use you. It's not just a man or a woman thing.
Yeah,
However, it's different because in the dating game, what can be considered more attractive to a man is how much money that he makes. Less so that, like, a woman who makes a lot of money, that's not as, like, like, if you were to take a complete scale of, like, what attracts a man, like, maybe 5% of which is, you know, that she makes good income, 5 to 10%, depending upon the man's particular situation. Yeah. But, like, a woman who's looking for a potential suitor, way more than 5 to 10%.
Yeah, I think that for, and this is something kind of like that I had to kind of like come to that actualization. As a woman, like, men, y'all really don't care how much money we make. Y'all really don't care about what we do as our career. No. It's more like, oh, is she a good mother? Is she going to be a good, nurturer. You know, caretaker, nurturer? Like, those are the things that men care about. But
highly feminine things.
It's interesting though, because, like, I feel like some people are not like that. Some people want, you know, they want both, or some people, you know, they want it to be more like a business partnership. So they want that, you know, consistency of, like, she gonna do this, she gonna bring this, whatever. So I think it depends on the man, but I found largely that men care about, I don't want to say the basic things, but they care about the things that are innate, kind of supposed to be innately women or innately feminine that women would do, as far as caretaking and nurturing and being a good mother and things of that nature. And, like, what you actually do, how much you actually bring to the table doesn't matter. But in that situation, like, I think that man has to be okay. Like, if you're not worried about those things, you are outward saying, like, I want to provide for you, I want to create this life for you, and I want you to do these things for me. So, like, because I feel like if you are that kind of man, you don't care how much I bring, you don't care about my credentials, you can't be a 50-50 man, because you're hearing that I'm going to be at home doing the domestic things, you're going to be out in the workplace doing the providing, which is fine. But it's if you want 50-50, like, that doesn't add up. It seems like you're going to do that. Your 50-50s are different. You know what I'm saying? It's not that she's not providing anything to the household, but you're looking at her to do the more in-home taking care of stuff versus the out-of-home taking care of stuff.
Which type are you? Are you more, are you looking for a relationship where you can be much more traditional in nature, or looking for a relationship where there'd be like a 50-50 split in like money that y'all make and how much y'all bring home? So
I would say that I tend to lean towards the more traditional side of things, but I will also say that in terms of, like, 50-50, our 50% is like different. It's not that I'm not doing 50%. It's not that our money is not going to things going in the household. It's just my money might be doing different things. Like, you might be paying the mortgage and, like, the lights and gas. But when it comes to vacations, I might be the one booking the flights and paying for our package, and then you're just taking care of spending money. Like, there's different ways you can do 50%. It doesn't always have to come down to bills. And so I think when people think of 50-50, they only think of, like, we need to split the bills. You don't always have to do that. Your money can be going different things. Or if he's paying the household bills, the other money that's coming in from your job could be going into your investment properties or your real estate or whatever else that you want to do. Like, there's other ways to split up your money that don't necessarily require you to, let's split these bills 50-50. Because there's other things that you may want to do as a couple, or other goals you have. And if you can live off one salary, why not, and invest your money and do other things with the money that you would prefer to do to kind of continue to level up your family and level up your home.
I can't disagree with you.
Today's a good day.
Today's a good day. No, I appreciate your perspective, because I think that, like, you know, between the dichotomy of the two, between the traditional, you know, what our parents and not maybe our parents, but our grandparents, great grandparents, and the traditional roles versus like kind of this new modern day. Like I feel like there's somewhere in the middle that can be met, but it's really determined upon the personalities. And I think like as far as, and I'm talking specific to like taking like the money that's brought in or the activities within the business of that, you know, relationship, if that's what you choose to do. But at the same time, there's still some factors within the roles of a relationship that I like more traditional than new age. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, love, and understand a component about me is I appreciate a woman who doesn't have masculine traits, right? Like when I see it, I go the other way because I feel like it's not something that attracts me. You know what I'm saying? And I think no matter how much extra technology comes on this planet, you know what I'm saying, that we create and use and what have you, like those very concepts within relationships, at least within our culture, is still something that's, you know, very important to know and understand, and then see how you fit within it, and then how you evolve on top of it. You know?
Yeah, I think one of the things that, because you said you don't want women with masculine, I think sometimes people confuse masculine and strong. You can be a strong, independent woman without being masculine.
Very true.
So I think that, like, just kind of like, I think sometimes people think when, oh, you're strong, independent, like you act like you don't need a man. It's not that I don't need a man, but at the end of the day, like right now, I'm providing for me. Like I don't have a husband, I don't have, you know, that man in my life at this point. So I'm providing for me because that's what I need to do. It has nothing to do with being masculine. It's just like, you know, I take care of me right now. And it's not that when I, you know, might meet somebody, there's a very fine line of being able to submit to someone who doesn't know how to lead. I think I hear men say like women don't submit anymore, this and that. But a lot of people don't know how to lead. So it's like if you don't show a woman who is already in her own lane, in her own right, and you don't know how to lead, it's hard for her to follow who doesn't know how to lead. So if you know how to lead, she'll follow.
So let me ask you a question. We'll get back into the video. So like a woman who has been leading her life for a period of time and then now wants to get in a relationship with the intentions on maybe one day getting engaged or what have you, meets a man who has been leading himself in his own right. Right. I feel like between the dichotomy of the two, like, yes, the dude has to be able to have basic tenets to show that he's a great leader. But oftentimes what I find, and this I see this a lot in the black community, is the woman doesn't want to relinquish that title or that role.
She don't trust you.
Right. So what is that? That not trust you, is that, do you think that's more of the man being incapable of leading, or do you think that it's a role that you just don't want to relinquish because of TV, media, what people told you, how, right? Like,
so I think it could be a couple things.
Okay.
I think she could, A, not trust your leadership skills, which is possible, but B, she could have been in situations previously that tainted her, and so it's not a it's not a smooth transition to her trusting you right away. But I think, you know, even with men, some men, they don't know how to lead, but they want to, you know, keep saying, I'm a man, you know, they're hammering it, but they're not. Exactly.
Okay.
So, you know, I think it's a fine balance. There are some women who don't know how to be able to be led, but it's not always that she doesn't know how to be led. Sometimes it's like she A, doesn't trust her leadership, or B, she's been in situations where she's given someone the ability to lead and they have led her down not the right path, and so she's more hesitant. It doesn't mean that she won't eventually trust you, but she may not be as open to trusting you out the gate. You have to do a little bit of showing and proving for her to feel like, okay, I feel comfortable now letting this man lead me.
Let me one more. I know we keep on talking about getting back in the video, but I like the dialogue. If there was one or two things that you've seen a man do that you said to yourself, he makes a great leader.
I would say his presence and confidence, and his ability to manage his affairs independently. Okay. You see, like, he manages his money well. He keeps his home well. Like, he doesn't, like, he manages well. Like, if that makes sense. Like, he's not someone where it's like, you got to kind of come in and tell him like, okay, you need to be doing X, Y, and Z. He already knows something's already been doing. He good.
I can't disagree with you. There's a degree of impressiveness with the both, right? Like, and they feed into each other. Like, generally a dude is confident if he leads his life well. And generally his life is led well because of the degree of confidence, right? It's like they both feed into each other, right?
Because when people say to you like, oh, you know, I was interested in you, but I didn't think you would talk to me, like, that automatically means that you're not confident, because it's like, at the end of the day, like, if you don't even think that I should be talking to you, why should I think I should be talking to you?
Big facts.
Because you want to go on shopping sprees every weekend, that is not a natural reason to want a provider. Because you want to go on vacations every other week, that is not a natural reason to want a provider. So that is an issue. If you want to have a man that is masculine or that is a protector because you want him to beat up all your exes, or because you want to be out here doing whatever you want and you don't have to deal with any consequences, you can just hand your problems over to your man and he'll deal with everything, or, you know, whatever, that is not a natural reason to want a protector. If you want a man that is highly respected and has his characteristics of a good leader because you feel like he's going to help you come up some way, that just shows your insecurity. That just shows that you don't think you're good enough unless you have a man to bring you up. That's not a natural reason to want a man that has these leadership characteristics and qualities, you know. So that's when it becomes a problem. When you have women with that type of mentality, when it's not for natural reasons, it's just because they want to use these masculine traits within a man in order to make themselves come up in some type of way, instead of just being a good woman that comes up on her own and then she attracts men that are on her level, which makes more sense to me. But whatever, that is when it's an issue to me. Other than that, I think, like I said, it is natural for the most part. And I don't think that men should be upset about that. I don't think that you have anything to worry about unless you have like this victim loser mentality. And the reason that I say that is because, like with any and everything else in life, the people that take the time to invest that energy and effort into themselves and do what they need to do, they always have the better outcome. Like, for example, if you were the type of student that put in the investment and the time and the energy and the effort and the work to get good grades, when it was time for you to graduate, you had better options and more options as far as which college you were going to go to. If when you are looking for a job, if you are someone that put in the investment and the time, energy, and effort, and you did the work to get whatever qualifications or credentials that you have, whether it be certificate, a training, some type of course, some type of degree, some type of license, if you put in the effort and the energy to get that qualification and that experience, the outcome is you have better choices and you have more choices as far as what kind of job you're going to have. If you are someone that put in the time, energy, and effort to building your credit score and getting financial education, the outcome is you have more options and better options as far as what kind of house you're going to live in, what kind of car you're going to drive, right? So why is it any different when it comes to relationships, whether this be man or woman that I'm talking to right now? Why should it be any different? The problem is society has tricked many of us into believing that everybody should just accept us as we are and nobody wants to do the work. You're not.
Damn!
She was sticking in.
She's going in. Yeah, I had to pause for a second just to let it breathe. I think she's hitting on a multitude of points that like we have to highlight and talk about for a second. She's talking about putting in the effort. She's talking about putting in the effort. There's a lot of people, I mean, you talked about it before, there's a lot of dudes that just feel like because I'm a man, I should be leading. Right? There's a lot of dudes that don't have the basic minimum requirements to claim that. They haven't shown that. They haven't been able to demonstrate that. But they also haven't put in the work in order to figure out how to lead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Women. Let's not just focus on the men, let's focus on the women as well. May be focused currently in their masculine energy. They haven't put in the time, energy, and effort to identify how they can become or mature into a nurturing, understanding, complete
So
person to enable a situation.
I think sometimes, and I think sometimes you see this sometimes, especially people that come from like single parent homes. It's not necessarily not wanting to be that way, but they had to grow up very quickly, and so they had to do things from a young age that as a child they maybe shouldn't have had that responsibility. And so it changes how they operate in relations, because they, from the very beginning, they were operating in a capacity that they shouldn't have been. And so it's like, this is all I know. It's not to say that we're giving them a pass or an excuse, but certain times, situations in life mold you into who you are. And so it takes some self-work to say, hey, I know that I learned this way, or this is how I grew up, but I want to change the trajectory for me and for my family going forward. But they have to identify the issue, because if you don't identify an issue, you can't rectify an issue. One of the things that she touched on was, women wanting a man to level them up. So I kind of feel on two sides of this. I don't think you should date someone purely to level you up, but I think when you're in a relationship with someone, it's a partnership. So if you're not leveling me up in someone where you're not teaching me, I'm not learning things from you, you're not pushing me to be better, I don't want to be with you. I want someone that's actually going to say, I look for people that are strong in areas that I'm weak in, because it's like, this person is really strong in a couple areas that I'm weak in. They can push me to grow better and be developed and be better in those areas because they're already strong in the area. And I think that's a key component of partnership, is someone that can teach you and someone that can better you as a person. And I don't mean financially. You don't want to go into a situation that's negative financially, but I'm thinking of things like, okay, these are some areas that I really want to work on. Or maybe like, I'm confident, but when it comes to like work stuff, I'm not as confident in that space as I should be. And my partner, he encourages me and he says, you've done X, Y, and Z. You deserve to be here. You deserve to sit at the table. Go in there and show them that. Don't shy back because you feel less than confident about your ability to be there. And I think that's important in your partnership. And if we're leveling up, that's the kind of leveling up that I want to see in my relationships.
I can't disagree with you.
This is the most you've ever said that.
But I think so there's basic concepts that she's introducing in here that I feel like it's hard to disagree with. Like, yes, you have to put in the effort in some things, both in your personal life as well as in your work life. There's things that you have to do to get bigger, better, faster, stronger, right? We can both agree on that.
Right.
Oftentimes, people who want to cut corners, right? Like, if you cut corners, if you cheat on everything, it will come back and bite you in the butt.
Yeah.
Right? Like, cheating or relationships. I think it's scamming. Like if you go onto the part of the YouTubes where it's women teaching women how to ignore their emotions in order to grab an older dude for the bag, right? Like, I think there's a degree of scam within that, right? Like the Anna Nicole thing, there's a degree of scam. Or if both parties know about it, it's an exchange. And I have no problems with exchanges, but I have problems with scams. My boy got scammed. My friend got scammed.
But if you think about it, there are women that get scammed by men. Like, that's also a very real thing.
But they don't get scammed for money. They get scammed for vagina. They get scammed for viscosity.
But they might get scammed. But let's say somebody who is like, I hate classifying people as bums, but he, what I'm saying, he kind of a bum.
Oh, he's a freeloader.
And he lays good pipes. So, what I'm saying? She's technically getting scammed out of her money. It's not necessarily a scam, but she's like enjoying that. So she, what I'm saying? He's dropping her at work in her car. She's paying all the bills. If you look at Baby Boy, it's like an Yvette and Jody type situation. Get a job, Jody.
I think I hear you. I think that happens way less than men getting scammed by women for vagina.
It's possible, but I think that like I've seen some successful women settle for a less than equal.
Out of lust.
Not even out of lust, out of desperation sometimes, out of just wanting to be with somebody, and this person shows you attention and they lay good pipe and they want to take care of you because honestly they ain't got nothing else to do because they ain't got no job. So
you think hypergamy can happen on both sides of the coin? So a dude can be hypergamous to a strong, independent woman,
it's possible.
And then flip side, yeah.
It might be less likely, like you kind of tapped on, but I think it's possible.
Yeah, I think it's way less likely, but it still happens. Right. So.
Show.
All right, well, I don't want to keep on going on this video. I'll leave a link down in the description. She was just about to heat up, so feel free to go over to her channel and finish out the view over there. Sara, every time we do a video on Sara, this is probably like my second or third video on Sara. I always just like, great job, great job. I think her hypergamy definition was a little bit off in the beginning, but you know, I mean, it is what it is.
It made for good conversation.
Made for great conversation. All right, so I give 2 thumbs up. What you give?
2 thumbs up.
You
Good
get
job,
2
Sara
thumbs up,
girl.
Sara. Great job. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Check a link in the description. Got a Patreon as well. Naya! Thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciated your conversation. Your brain moves at a mile a minute. You know?
It is quick.
It is quick. I'm like, what did she say? What did she say?
I gotta be good
got
on
it. Boom, let me talk about it.
I gotta be good on my feet. That's that's that lawyer shit.
That's that lawyer shit. Go ahead, girl, do your thing. All right, do your thing. We gotta do another one if you got some time though.
Yeah,
all right?
I got a little time.
Boom! Until next time, you two. Pardon me.
Oh my gosh.
Peace!